Okay, so it's prep day today, and we just had 17 kilograms of meat, organ and bone arrive. So it's time to take it out of the box and get it to thaw. We've got two spectators today, Mojo and Yola. This will be Mojo's food. Yola is visiting today. She's fed a kibble diet, but she will switch to raw soon probably, so that's great. So, that's everything we have. Is it lekker? So what I tend to do is thaw the meat in the bathroom. We don't have the biggest bathroom, but I just spread it out over the shower floor. And then that way it's easy to clean afterwards. So a prey model raw diet consists of 80% meat, which is muscle meat, fat, tendons, 10% bone, which is edible bone, soft, not hard and thick, weight-bearing bone, which is always covered in meat, so the part that has bone in has 10% bone and the rest goes into that 80%. 5% liver and 5% kidney. This time we have deer, kangaroo and hare as meat. Then we have bone-in pheasant carcasses, which also add to the meat as well as to the bone. Then we have rabbit livers and beef kidney. So that's all we have. Alright, so it's time to portion the organs. I'm going to start with the beef kidney. It's half thawed, half frozen, which was suggested is the right structure to cut up, so I'll try and see how that goes. I've got like a plastic cutting board, and I wrap my scales in cling film, which I hope it's still completely balanced, but I just want to protect it because it's made of wood. Alright, that took me less than a minute to cut up, which is quite surprisingly easy actually. I think I'm just gonna cut them up into pieces of this size, then save them in that tub for later when I start prepping the rest of the meat. Alright, so that was quite easy. I ended up chopping it into pieces that were either 25 grams or smaller, so that the pieces that are a bit smaller, I also have some small scraps that I can all add it up to 25 grams. There are a few big fat pieces that I took out, and I will use that as part of the meat that goes into her daily meals. So it won't go to waste, but I had a little bit extra kidney anyway because I needed approximately I think like 900 grams, and we have a bit more, so that will be used as meat. So yeah, and the scales did work, which was perfect. So now it's time for liver. Alright, so here's the livers. These are rabbit livers. They smell much better than what I had previously, which was, yeah, duck liver. And it has a different color as well. It looks much nicer. Okay, so I'll use that. I'll cut it up into pieces as well. Yeah, so as I thought, rabbit livers are very small, so I'm just gonna have them thaw completely and then cut if necessary. But they look like beautiful, and they do not smell at all, so highly recommended. So it's time to prep the liver. I've got some pieces that I portioned before, so stuck them in the fridge until now. We'll just make small pieces again of maximum 25 grams, so we can puzzle it up for her daily amount. The livers are all cut up. It looks like it's a mash, but these are pieces of 25 grams and smaller. I think if you were to have a huge liver, it would be clever to cut it while half frozen. This was quite easy to do thawed, because these are quite small pieces. One liver is approximately 70 grams, so it wouldn't make sense to cut it up and then have small pieces after cutting it as a chunk. Because they're all already small pieces, so to say. I've put the kidney and liver in the fridge to save until we're ready to prep the rest of Mojo's meals. It's time to portion out all of the meat, bone and organ. Usually I start with bone and meat, but that's because I did organ cubes separately. Today I will start by weighing out all of the organ for every single day. So then I will start adding the bone-in meat, and then I will add up to her daily amount of meat that she needs. Some days that will be a little bit more bone, some days it will be a little bit less. You hungry? We'll be wrapping that in cling film again just to keep it clean, and just to let you guys know, it works perfectly, so that's a great tip. Here we have liver, here we have kidney. Alright, that's set to 0. Grabbing the spoon, getting a piece of kidney, hoping that it will be 25 grams. Nope, 23. So I'm going to scoop for a small 2-gram piece, which it is. Great. Liver. That's a bit too much. Alright, took one small piece out, and now it's 50 grams, so that's 1. Putting that into the first tub, and on to the next. Okay, so I'm almost halfway through, like 1/3. I would definitely say that this is what I would recommend doing, especially if your dog is a little bit bigger. Like if you would have a tiny dog, it would be great to just put it in a food processor, blend it, and make organ cubes. But this, well, if you have like not a big freezer, it's not easy to freeze the organ cubes if you have to make much at a time. So this is so easy. Done prepping the organ. So this is 50 grams of organ each day. Mojo eats 1 meal a day, so that's why it's 1 tub every single time. 25 grams of liver, 25 grams of kidney. In a pre-model raw diet, dogs have to eat 5% liver every day of their diet and 5% other secreting organ. And as secreting organ, one often uses kidney or spleen, sometimes testicles, or some others actually. So we have, I think, 35 days here, so that's 7, 7, 4, 28, 30. Yes, so we have 35 meals here. 500 grams is what she eats a day. 10% of that is the organ, which is 50 grams. So the next step would be to portion out the bone-in meat, which I'm going to do now. So when ordering the meat, I calculated how much bone I needed, and therefore I ordered 6 kilograms of pheasant carcasses. Spreading this over 35 days, we'll have a complete balance of 10% bone. So what I have here is just 4 carcasses, but I don't know the amount of carcasses in total. So what I will do is divide 6 kilograms by 35 days, and that is 170 grams approximately a day. So I will just see what these weigh, which is approximately 250 grams, and break some pieces off and put them in other tubs. So I've got some parts of pheasant carcasses into the tubs that already had some organ. I will do that to all of these, but first I will get some meat and add that to these, so these can go into the freezer. I'm starting off with deer meat now. I will do 1 protein per tub, so in 1 tub she will have either hare, kangaroo, or deer. So I do realize that now I have put some bone in, there's not an equal amount of bone and meat in all the tubs, so I still have to weigh them. They weigh approximately 30 grams, so I have to up it to 530 to get to the 500 a day, but that's easy. So 530 is the amount that I will stick to. That's 530 grams minus the weight of the tub is 500 grams. So there you go. 5 completely balanced meals for Mojo. And I think that one will be her dinner tonight because that's a bit too full. So she will have that in a minute. So every evening around dinner time, I will take one of these tubs out of the fridge, which has been thawed previously, and I take one out of the freezer, put it into the fridge to thaw for the next evening. Then I can just dump this into her food bowl. And there you have it. One completely balanced meal. Was het? Goed zo. Wachten. Nee. Zo. So because every day she will have organ and pheasant, the only thing I will be adding is one extra protein. So I'll just write down that protein. This time it's deer. And on the others I will write either hare or kangaroo. And that all comes off with soap and hot water, or at least, oh, it kind of comes off. Not completely, but that's alright. So that's fine. And when you need to take a break, you can just put the lids on and put it into the freezer and wait until you have more time to prep the rest. So now it's dinner time for me, and then I will add the hare and the kangaroo to the rest of these tubs. I hope you guys liked this video. Keep in mind that you have to keep your surface very clean during this process, and afterwards it's very important to clean up thoroughly. Clean the dog food bowl as well, which is very important so that you don't get a bit of bacteria buildup. And yeah, I hope you liked it. Goodbye. Goodbye.